Hello all. Let us learn an interesting concept from the subject educational psychology. Do you know why toddlers often ask a lot of illogical and naive questions? Do you know why children tend to be unempathetic and egocentric at times? Well, the answers to all these intriguing questions were created and established in the theory of cognitive development proposed by Jean Piaget in the 1920s. Jean-William Fritz Piaget was a Swiss psychologist known for his work on child development. Piaget's theory of cognitive development and epistemological view are together called as genetic epistemology. Piaget placed a great importance on the education of children. A fun fact is that until this point in history, children were largely treated simply as smaller versions of adults. Thankfully, Piaget was one of the first to identify that the way children think is different from the way adults think. He proposed that children actively build their knowledge by reasoning or thinking differently from adults and by seeing the world in different ways. In this theory, he has categorized cognitive development into 4 stages. Namely, sensory motor stage, that is from birth to 2 years old, pre-operational stage 2 years to 7 years old, concrete operational stage 7 to 11 years old, and formal operational stage ages 12 and above. According to him, all children go through the same stages in the same order but not at all at the same rate. Let us learn each stage one by one. The sensory motor stage. From birth to 2 years, the important key words in this stage are sensory curiosity and object permanence. During this earliest stage of cognitive development, infants and toddlers acquire knowledge through sensory experiences and manipulating objects. A child's entire experience at the earliest period of the stage occurs through basic reflexes, senses, and motor responses. They also learn about object permanence, which is the idea that things continue to exist even when they cannot be seen. Secondly, we have the pre-operational stage, which starts from 2 years and ends at 7 years. Here, the watchwords are pretend play, symbolic thinking, and egocentrism. Children become much more skilled at pretend play during this stage of development, yet they continue to think very concretely about the world around them. They begin to think symbolically and learn to use words and pictures to represent objects, but tend to be egocentric as they struggle to see things from the perspective of others. Thirdly, concrete operational stage ranges from 7 to 11 years. Here, the terms to remember are inductive logic and conservation. During this stage, children begin to think logically about the concrete events, and interestingly, children begin to understand the concept of conservation, understanding that although things may change in appearance, certain properties remain the same. Let us see this video which exhibits the lack of conservation in toddlers, that is from 2 to 7 years. Finally, formal operational stage from 11 years and above. The important keywords are abstract thinking and deductive logic. This stage involves an increase in logic, the ability to use deductive reasoning and to understand of abstract ideas. At this point, adolescents and young adults become capable of seeing multiple potential solutions to the problems and think more scientifically about the world around them. In conclusion, Piaget's theory of cognitive development explains how a child constructs a mental model of the world. He disagreed with the idea that intelligence was a fixed trait and regarded cognitive development as a process that occurs due to biological maturation and interaction with the environment. Children construct an understanding of the world around them, then experience discrepancies between what they already know and what they discover in their environment, through which learning happens as a result. Thank you for listening and learning with me today.